This is a full body flow, and we'll get right into it. You can also use 1 pound, I'm hooking 1 pound ankle weights over my ankles here. You can certainly use your own body weight, whatever feels good for you. Taking a second to ground before we go, closing our eyes, sitting up on our knees here. Just take a second. Thank yourself for showing up. Set an intention for your practice that will move with you through this entire flow and then throughout the rest of your day. Bringing your arms to your palms to your chest. Taking a second here. Let's move. Coming onto your backs. We're going to start with a little abs to warm us up. Bringing your knees to your chest. Sit up nice and strong here, holding the outside of your calves. I'm going to roll back. Come back up to sit. Try to keep your feet off the mat the whole time. Let's do 2 more of these. Last one. And then rolling back, staying here. Keeping our head, neck, and shoulders lifted up off the mat. Bringing our legs into tabletop. Bringing our hands behind our head to support our neck here. We're just going to float that right toe down to the mat, bring it back up, and switch to the left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Staying here. Now both toes back down to the mat and staying here, bringing both feet to the mat and bringing back up. If you can just go this far, that's totally fine. You don't have to be touching the mat for this to be effective. We want to make sure that our core is nice and engaged here and we're not arching our back. Give me 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hugging our knees to our chest. Resting our head, neck, and shoulders on the mat. Opening up our legs. Shifting side to side. And when we're ready, floating our hands on either side of our body. Our arms are nice and long. Bringing our legs back into tabletop. It's my dog snoring. Inhale. On your exhale, scooping head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat along with those arms. We're going to tilt over to the right an inch and to the left an inch. You can extend your legs out a little bit further if that feels good for you. Let's do 8 more. 7, 6, 5, staying nice and up here off the mat. For 3, 2, on 1, staying here, extending our legs out to a 45-degree angle, bringing them back into tabletop. You can also just keep your legs in tabletop here and hold. That works too. If your neck is feeling a little bit sore, bring one hand behind to support, keeping that opposite hand extended. Or if you feel like you need the support completely, just bring both hands. Give me 10 more. Really going to try to sculpt these abs here. 9, 8, 7, 6. You can also rest your head, neck, and shoulders on the mat if that feels good for you. For 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Bringing those knees into your chest. We're already moving. We just started. All right. We're not quite done with our ab series yet. So bringing your knees back into tabletop, coming up onto your forearms. Coming up onto your forearms, shoot that right leg out, followed by that left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Coming back down onto our backs, bringing our hands back behind our neck here. We're going to bicycle these legs for 10, 9. So opposite elbow to opposite knee. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Staying up here, extending that left leg long, that right leg towards the ceiling with our foot pointed or flexed, up to you. Switching these legs here for 10, 9, 8, 7, picking up that pace, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Bringing those knees to your chest. You're almost done with this beginning warm up here. Hugging our knees in towards our chest, giving ourselves a nice hug here. Bring that forehead to those knees if you can. Really feeling that nice hug. Inhale, and on your exhale, extend your arms and legs out in opposition, bringing back into that hug for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, sucking that belly back, 2, on 1. Rocking up to sit. Just stretch those arms behind you, letting your chest puff up towards the ceiling. Closing your eyes if you need to for a second, taking a moment to regroup before we move on to our side. So coming up onto our left side body or right, staying up on our forearm here, lifting that top leg up an inch, should be in line with your hip. You can bring that bottom leg forward a little bit, keeping a soft bend, extending that arm nice and strong and tall, touching those toes, extending back. When we extend here, we're going to almost rotate our torso, and you should feel it greatly in your abs here. So it can be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Staying up here, bringing that hand behind that head, elbow to knee for 10, 9, 8. So you're really crunching in, extending out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Keeping that leg nice and high. Dropping down onto our arm here, resting our head in our hand. Bring that leg forward for me and back for 10, 9. So you're touching the toe to each corner of the mat. For 7, 6, 5, and we're really staying strong here in our hips. We're not moving, leaning forward, leaning back. Give me 3, 2, on 1. Keeping that leg nice and strong. Give me tiny little kicks here for 10, 9, 8, 7. You can extend that top arm long for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This leg still nice and strong. You're going to want to drop it, but just hold it with me here. Bringing that knee in. Shaking it out here. Bringing these legs into a 90-degree angle. Flexing your feet. Lifting up an inch, lowering down an inch for 10, 9, 8, hi Sunny, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, touching knee to knee, extending out, keeping that foot nice and flexed for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, pointing that foot, dropping in front. No, just kidding. We're done with this leg. This leg feels like it's about to fall off. So we're just going to shake it out here. Feels nice to drop it. And moving right over onto that opposite side. Staying up on this forearm. Keeping a micro bend in the stabilizing leg. Lifting the top leg up an inch. Lifting that hand up towards the ceiling. Touching our hand as close to our toes as we possibly can. And extending out for 10, 9, 8. Make sure your shoulder is right above that elbow. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Keeping that leg nice and long here. Elbow to knee, extending out for 10, 9, 8, 7. Crunching into those abdominals for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Keeping that leg nice and strong. Resting your head in your palm. Touching the front corner of the mat. And then the back corner for 10, 9, 8. We're pointing our toes here. Letting energy really move through this leg as we sculpt it. Give me 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Keeping it nice and strong. Give me little micro bends for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding strong here. Give me little circles for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Reverse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Drawing that knee into touching the mat. Extending right straight out like you're stepping on the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold it out there for me. Dropping down. Shaking that booty out. Bringing those legs into a 90-degree angle in front of us here. Floating that top leg. Pulsing down an inch. Opening up an inch for 10. Actually going to keep my hand on the mat. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Tapping knee to knee, extending out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, count with me, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Last one, finish all the way. Dropping down, shaking it out. Sideline series, it really creeps up on you. It looks like nothing, but woo, it can really get to you. All right, we're going to move right into arms. So coming onto all 4s here. Give me a couple cat-cows. Loosening up that spine. Settling back down into neutral. Extending that right leg. Extending that left leg out. Followed by that right. Bringing your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. So they should be just about the length of your mat, maybe a little bit closer than that. Drop down an inch, lift up an inch. So it's not a full push-up. If you want to do a full push-up, by all means. This is like a little micro push-up. Give me 10, 9, staying strong on those abdominals for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, staying down, coming back up, drop those knees, float it back into a child's pose, staying here for a breath, coming back up onto all 4s, coming into a forearm plank, extending both of those legs out. Our hands are into prayer in front of us. Tilt forward an inch and back an inch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Dropping that right hip to the mat, coming up nice and strong, floating over to that left. So we're just knocking our hips to either side for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Drop those knees. Extend those arms out in front of you. Take a stretch. Coming back up onto all 4s. Walking our knees out. Floating our feet. Give me 10 tiny push-ups for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Go as low as you can for 4, 3, 2, last one. Floating back into an active child's pose. Shaking out those hips for a sec. Coming onto our sit bones. Bringing our hands right behind us, about palms distance away from our body. Our palms are facing in, our hands are facing in. Floating up. Give me 10 tricep dips here. For an added challenge, you can walk those feet a little further out. Give me 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Floating back up. Bringing those hands in front of you. Slowly rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. right to where you feel it in your lower abdominals. Lifting that right leg up, bring it into your chest, extending out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Keep that leg nice and long here. Bringing that right arm, hand behind your head. That left arm goes long, touching those toes or that ankle for 10, 9. So really just closing the space here in between our hand and our foot for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Bringing this leg into a 90-degree angle, staying up, elbow to knee, extend out for 10, 9. We're finishing strong here. 8, 7, sunny come, 6, 5, 4, sunny, 3, 2, on 1. Hug that knee in. The mailman's here and she's like losing her mind. Shaking out that foot. Lowering it back down to the mat. We're gonna move into the opposite side and then we're done. Sitting up nice and strong. Inhale to prepare. And on your exhale, rolling back, tilting that pelvis in right to where we feel it in our lower abdominals. Lifting that left leg or that opposite leg up. What do we do? Up. Bringing it into the chest and extending out for 10, 9, 8. We're really dropping down far towards the mat to really get into those abs here. Give me 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Keeping that leg nice and long. Hand behind your head. Left arm extends, or right arm. And then touching our hands to our ankles. Give me 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Staying up. Elbow to knee. Extend long for 10, 9. Really crunching over to that opposite side for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hugging the leg in. Butterfly those feet. Standing up nice and strong. We made it. Whew, you should feel so proud of yourself. That was not easy. It was tough. I was winded, a lot of that. Rolling back down onto our backs. Extending that left leg long. Bringing it back in. Give me a figure 4 with your legs here. If you can, grabbing behind that right thigh. Pulling yourself up a little bit to deepen that stretch. Whatever feels good here, shake it out. Lower head, neck, and shoulders back down to the mat. Extending that left leg long, bringing that right leg into figure 4. Hugging that left thigh in towards your body, interlacing those fingers behind your leg. Shake it out side to side. Coming up into a cross-legged position here. Whew. Floating those hands above your head. Stretching over to that right side. Coming back up to center. Stretching over to the left. Bringing those palms right in front of your chest here. Closing those eyes. Thank you so much for showing up doing the work and joining me. And if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, I would love to hear it. And namaste.